against our top, just like that. Just give me prime top performance.
That's a very high request because both teams definitely do not want to give the best heroes available on the roster to each other here. So we'll see. Blacklist, they will start off with the prior pick because they have selected the blue side. And this means Gen Myth will not get to play the Mai Shiranui. No Fire Ninja for you.
That Mai Shiranui is being respected highly. Seems that Gen Myth does have a very big performances over there on that Mai Shiranui, because it's not the first time that Blacklist is going to ban that one. Blacklist has not allowed that Mai in any of the games.
Yeah, and of course, double down the respects here. Blacklist International, they know that Zangyu wants to perform, he wants to be flying high. No Jing for you. And so BIGETRON, they will respond in kind by taking out the Chicha. I think Blacklist is expecting that the Algren is a potential pick from Zangyu here.
Potential pick could actually be Blacklist International. They decide just for the first pick to go with the Lady Chen. We understand the AoE coming in from Lady Chen, but just go with your mid laner as your first pick. That is not actually very common.
I mean, they were expecting, BIGETRON to come up with the tanks, and here we go with the 50-50 matchup. The Pei against the Ukyo Tachibana. A matchup for the history books here, and to complement that, we're gonna have the stock standard combination, Byron as a smart mace with the Tiger's Pei.
Byron and Pei, very strong combo right over here coming in from the side of Blacklist International. Very balanced, very early in terms of the Tiger, and then very late in terms of the Byron, allowing just to be able to sustain in both ends of the clock.
So I feel like this is going to open up the doors for potentially, the utility roams here. The Guikus is a potential pick for this other Blacklist. We could also see the Secure for this other Blacklist since they have not used it yet. Because the big tanks are gone. There is no more Lapu Lapu. There is no more Mortu for the side of BIGETRON as well. So let's see. Nope. What else do they have in a tank?
What else do they have in a tank right over there? I don't know. Like, they could actually use the Lian Po. The Lian Po would be a good pick. I don't understand why we're not prioritizing a little bit more of the Lian Po, because I am loving I'm loving to see that hero.
Okay, we've seen this in the previous series. The Fang as a farm lane pick, and BIGETRON, ooh, okay, they're actually going for the potential time bender Sun Bing pick. And I like this, right? It gives you a lot of sustain, health rebate, as I like to call it, in the big team fights, and the silence by a time lapse is going to be really important.
Sun Bing is a very interesting pick, right? The problem in here is going to be when you have that Sun Bing with the Eren in the early stages of the game, it's going to be difficult for them just to try to play in the laning stages. Trying to fight against that Lady Sun and the Lian Po actually is going to level it out. I do believe that the farm laning stage is going to be very balanced.
Yeah, it really then comes down to how many free hits do you get, right? For Golden Kite, can you get your frag grenade down? Because that's going to be the premise of you having extra damage. On the other side, the ultimate weapon, the Bai Qi, being picked up by the side of Bao. How effective is this truly going to be here?
Well, we saw Bai Qi yesterday, and when Solid for Kagandra just used him, it was actually really good. I liked him a lot, and they just having right now the Bai Qi pro Sun Bing. In terms of late game, you have a lot of sustain, so it is actually pretty good. It's a very good combo in terms of those two. On the other side, you already have the Byron, so you have the initiation and you have the sustain, you have the tankiness that hero can give you. I am liking a little bit more the BTR composition compared to the Blacklist.
I feel like this Clash lane is just going to be a pillow fight. They're just going to hit each other and nobody dies because Byron has the lifesteal, so does the Baiqi. So I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. The turning factor here, I believe, will be the mid laners. It depends on Genmyth and Dragon. If they get the setups that they're looking for, it spells disaster because they have the stuns, the CCs as well.
In terms of the mid laners, I like a lot more Lady Trend compared to Xiao Xiao in terms of this. I can see the Lady Trend just having a lot more influence in the game as dealing damage later on compared to the Xiao Xiao. The Xiao Xiao is going to depend a lot if the Baiqi can initiate, right? If the Baiqi can initiate and the Xiao Xiao can come in and deal some more burst damage, that's going to be really good. But if Baiqi does not have the stun, if Baiqi cannot actually start the fight, it's going to be very limited what Xiao Xiao will be able to do.
Yep, and the range of flowing side, it can be a little bit further in comparison to the usual mages. You can, once it's locked in, you can actually start to run away as a Lady Chun. So that's going to be very valuable for the side of BLACKLIST International here. You take a look at this first information sourcing by both sides in the mid lane.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be our last game of today. Whoever that wins this match is going to take the victory, is going to take the 3 points, and it's going to put them back at the top of their group stage.
I mean, it had to be this way. Now, both sides will be using their sprite links here to get that extra shield value. And the wave clear is going to be a little bit faster for the side of BLACKLIST International as Genmyth looks to support his cast in a 3v2 matchup to allow space for Lanfeng to get that Firehawk at the bottom.
Here, the 2v1 against the Baiqi, he has to be very careful. He does have over there to stay, but gotta be very careful. That 2 against 1 very early in this game could spell trouble for him.
I mean, he already did his job as well, right? So he actually stole away that camp. And right now, it's going to be a very slight advantage going to the side of BTR. We'll see if this is going to be having a compound interest for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality. Because Champion 1 will get to push him out of lane. And this is where Joshi, potential gank incoming.
The Tiger Spirit is here.
Potential gank indeed. Look at that. Clean the wave, but look at that in the farm lane one more time. It is going to be F1 with that Sun Bin allowing the sustain that keeps Lanfeng alive.
Yeah, I like this composition by Golden Kite and Chance, right? They're just playing so well as a duo as well. They're actually out-damaging Lanfeng. If not for F1 on this Sun Bin, they would have lost this lane really early on.
Oh, wow. What are we doing right now? He comes in with half of his HP, procs his ulti, so the stun is not going to be there for too long time.
At this point, it's really poke and prod by both teams. They don't really have the damage to be able to take the first blood into their hands. And bear in mind, this is a scary situation. Bao did commit the flash, hoping to be able to exchange it or get the trade from someone on the side of BLACKLIST International. Did not get that situation to happen. So this 4-minute mark is a little bit concerning for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality.
It is gonna be very tight, right? Like he will get his flash and his ulti back by the 4-minute mark, but then everything is gonna have to be timed very properly. Ladies and gentlemen, remember that the city key for today is gonna be Sunblaze. Sunblaze is one of our first city keys for you to go back in game and just to log in and get all those freebies. The second one is gonna be Flare Up. Flare Up is going to be our second city key. Thank you very much for all of you who has been supporting us today in a day 2 of our KIS4.
Lovely support. We want to reward you with all the EXP as well. Now, reward it is, but this time it's going into the hands of BLACKLIST International because they have successfully traded Chaz's ultimate for Lanfeng's flash. That is a much different cooldown timer for the side of Lanfeng.
There's good news for BLACKLIST completely. Look at that one more time. Bao getting so much trouble. Dragon has been pretty focused on coming in and trying to make the 2 against 1. It's going to be a 3v1. The ulti is going to be wide. Bao is still sustaining. He's still taking in some more damage, but the first blood is going to go for Joshi.
Yep, that's huge. Mazaki as well. Genmyth, they're here to finish the job. Joshi gets taken down. Here comes a replacement as well. Chaz looking for an opening. Unable to find the final hit of his Tremor Smash, but Genmyth still takes a fall. In the meantime, they do get a trade in the form of Dragon in the mid. So this is just kills galore, and right now, it's a even trade. Nobody gets the better in terms of finances for the time being. But Lanfeng has started this first 4-minute Tyrant, and it should go into the hands of Zhang Q.
It should go into the hands of Thank You. Red Joshi is still pretty far away, so he cannot actually come and contest it. That first advantage is gonna go for BTR. Let's wait and see what they can do with it. The rotations here for the farm lanes. One more time. It's already the 4 minutes, so they can start actually chipping out of that HP from the turret.
Important here. And we'll see what this goal difference is going to be like. Right now, it's pretty much neck and neck, right? But in terms of individual goal leads, I don't see much difference except for maybe the clash lane. Champion 1 still ahead of Bao by just that little bit of gold. 700 sets them apart.
Well, right now, that 700 gold is going to come down to just the Byron fight that he won, and Bao's just losing over there in the 1v3 gang, right? That's what creates that little window of an opportunity and creates a little bit of that gap. It is not that big a gap, and it is not that critical at this stage. We're very early into the game yet, as we know that both of those heroes are actually pretty late.
Yeah, but right now, BLACKLIST International, I think they found a little bit more success. They've gotten the T1 at the top. Right now, Lanfeng is trying to get the trade. Should be able to do it unless Golden Kite has something else to say. That is going to be the case. And the TP coming down from Zhang Q. This is looking like they want to invade the jungle of BLACKLIST International.
They have the eyes, they have the timer. It's going to be 7 seconds for that Crimson Golem to spawn. And it's gonna be Joshi, the one that is running back home, trying to come and protect his Crimson Golem. Will he be able to come here on time?
And they're locking him away. Joshi, though, makes himself home in the jungle of the side of BIGETRON by Vitality. Right now, Chaz does secure that Crimson buff into his own hands. While it did not go into his jungler, it's better to have it on a team rather than giving it to the side of BTR.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's better. If you need to cut your losses, at least just give it to one of your team members. That is going to have some effect right over here, since Josh really would love to have that Crimson Golem for himself. But well, if it doesn't go to Golden Kite, it is good for BTR as well.
Okay, I want you guys to take a notice in the difference of the roam items here. So we're gonna have Guardian going in for the side of Chaz. He feels the team needs more physical and magical defense. But meanwhile, F1 actually going for the Crimson Reaper here. They want to have the additional movement speed. And here we go, BTR attempting the steal, not gonna be successful. Is there a team fight to follow? No, they will not be. BTR, they just need to stop the movement of BLACKLIST International because they're trying to get the split push at the bottom.
They want to try to split push. Yukio Tachibana might not be able to get that going on at the same time. But you can see that BTR has a very clear idea. The movement from left to right is kind of creating chaos in the tempo from BLACKLIST International.
Oh, nice flash. And Lanfeng will be caught out. Will they finish the job here with the Tremor Smash? Chaz finishes the job, gets 2 more members in the form of Genmyth. But here is the answer from the side of BTR. The Baici by Bao is going to be successful in getting down Chaz, but it's a roam for a farm lane. This is beneficial for BLACKLIST. Oh, hang on, Dragon gets called out as well. BIGETRON, they now have a 2-to-1 trade. Golden Kite is still alive. Until they get his life, it is still in positive effect of BLACKLIST unless they get this Crimson.
Well, that is actually pretty good. I would say actually that I like this trade for BTR. The fact that Lanfeng is falling, well, that is painful. But trade that for 2 kills and a Crimson Golem, and I'm gonna say that it was actually a pretty good trade for BTR in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, both roamers actually have gone for the Radiance, just a different component as their base for the Radiance. Let's see if this is going to be a big difference maker here. F1 using the Time Flux to maximum effect here.
That Time Flux is going to be more and more fundamental. It's going to be more and more critical as time passes, right? We've already seen it in previous games, how important that Sun Bin second ability has become as the time passes in the game.
Yes, it is important because it makes Bao much stronger than he currently already is, right? The longer Bao stays in a fight, the more damage he does. He gets more sustain as well. And Bao is someone, as a Baichi, you cannot ignore.
Well, exactly. That Baichi cannot be ignored in any way. Already level 10. I would love to just keep an eye on his itemization because we know that he's just going to be such a tanky hero. it can just stand in front of anyone from BLCK.
Jamie1 takes quite a big bunch of damage here. This is going to be BTR looking for an opening. They want to put pressure here. Hopefully get the setup. Nice jump by Bao. Can they finish the job here? It is going to be Jamie1 taken down. But here comes a response by Dragon. Beautiful ultimate coming in from the side of F1. This is why the Sunbin is picked, because he gets the silence. He gives the health rebate. And BIGETRON are reaping the rewards of this current decision right now.
F1 taking the spotlight real quick. He decides that he wants to take a little bit more of a critical role in this whole script. Now the Canyons come in and the turret in the mid lane, it's going to fall. They're trying to defend it. It is going to be very difficult for them.
Zaki's falling a little bit low. Bao jumps in. Perfect catch on the 3. Where's the damage coming in? Nanfeng will finish the job for the team. Another kill. Golden Kite has been called out for the first time in this game. And even with the itemization being bought, Eternity played. What good is that if you're dead? 2 members down for Blacklist International and BTR. Their timing cannot be even more beautiful. This is right smack at the 10-minute mark. Shadow Tyrant going into the hands of BTR. Joshi, he knows he needs to make this count. He has to get the trade now. And BTR, I don't think they know what's going on. Hang on, Genmith is close to the corner. Are they going to stop this? Oh, this is not going to be stolen. But Joshi needs to stay alive. I don't think he will be able to. Genmith will get that attempt going, but Joshi makes it out.
He makes it into his tiger form and he's able to make it out of there. What's the dominant movement? Just very determined by Joshi, right? Like he comes in, he makes a decision. He knows that he cannot contest the Tyrant, that he goes immediately for the Overload. That immediate trade, that decision making in those split seconds is why Joshi is so respected here in HOK.
Yep. It's one of those things that define your success rate in Honor of Kings, right? Especially in the pro scene. You have to make that call here, and it is going to be stolen by the side. This Crimson Golem going to the hands of Zangqiu. Beautiful steal. This puts Blacklist in a pretty vulnerable position. They do have the Tyrant buff on the side of BIGETRON by Vitality. One wrong positioning from the side of Blacklist, it could spell T3s on the menu.
Look at this, right now it's going to be the T2 turret that's going to fall. What is Joshi doing right over there? He's waiting for a very big flank.
Oh! Yeah, big catch though. Jamie1 has been caught out. And once again, this is not going to be ideal. BTR, BIGETRON, they know what's at stake here. They see that movement by Joshi. They will make that move to defend the T3 at the top. At the same time, they will not be able to catch Joshi out just yet. But BTR, all of that aggression has to stop. They need to defend their base.
I can already see a very clear plan here from Blacklist. They're going to just stop playing the fights and they just try to go for the back door. We have seen it in the past with the pay, and it just smells like Joshi is gonna try just to wear the hero cape and then just try to go for the back door for the top win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what hero it is, right? Joshi has taken so many different heroes, especially in the assassin jungle position, and gotten the back doors of his life. So now, Blacklist International fans, they want this to be the case. Even if you don't win the team fights, get the crystal. That is the whole point of the game anyway.
3,000 gold advantage right now for BTR as we're getting into the 13-minute mark. They've got control of the lanes. It's going to be very difficult right now for Joshi to try to win one more time that same opportunity, as right now I can imagine that BTR is pretty aware of what his plan is.
Yeah, look, they are trying to pull the same strat as well. Zangqiu's waiting at the sidelines here. Actually, if he catches eyes onto Golden Kite here, especially with that final kill, they don't have enough damage to make the defense on the side of Blacklist International. Now they will try. T3 on the top is going to be chunked down quite a bit. It's going to be taken as well. At the same time, Zangqiu seems to have taken the T3 at the bottom. So BIGETRON, they make the plays, they pull them apart, and Blacklist now have to face the wrath of BIGETRON with the help of the Mega Minions.
In the moment that we actually thought that it was going to be Joshi trying to go in for the backdoor, it was actually BTR responding, taking
Bao.
2 of them. Bao comes in,
gets the catch
he's
though.
going to make it.
Huge catch, huge knockup from the side of Chaz, but where's the follow-up damage? Bao's the only one that's really truly low. F1 with the save on the time flux as well. And even with all of the attempt, flashes used, a Blacklist cannot find the opening they were hoping for.
Well, Bal jumps in a very good fashion. The problem is that he jumps in so deep that there's no one in there that can actually follow with him. That was the actual problem of that move in there.
And the biggest thing now is that it's going to take a bit of time. But BTR, I think, are in better fighting shape in comparison to Blacklist, simply because they have the time flux. They're looking for that take. Tyrant is down. They have the fighting prowess as well. Zankyu is left alone on the backlines. Joshi 1v1. He tries to chase him down, but Sage's Sanctuary, Zankyu, they have turned the tides. It's a killing spree for the side of Lanfeng. And with that Blacklist International, it is going to be a 4v5 situation. Bigetron, they can see the future in sight. They have two big waves, one in the top, one at the bottom.
Minions are coming in. This might be the last push of the day. We can see them already coming into the high ground, Ken.
Yep, it is going to be Zankyu. He still stays alive. The crystal is open for the taking, but they want to take the fight. Champion may have saved the game for them. No, he cannot. BTR, this is IKL's day, and welcome to the winner's circle for day number 2.
BIGETRON by Vitality takes 2 victories in 2 games. Congratulations to the IKL representatives. They're gonna be at the top of their group after this amazing game performance.
A very tight game for sure. I mean, we expected this because both are champion materials of their own region. But bear in mind, once again, this is just the start of the journey for KIS4. Lessons will be learned. We'll see who grows faster in this part of the tournament.
Blacklist International came in, they showed us how they flex their muscles, the same as the fan right over there. It's just showing us. Blacklist International came in, flexed their muscles. They showed us very good performances. We should not be actually very focused on the fact that BIGETRON took the victory. We can actually understand that both of them, they showed us what they have prepared for this 2026. I love the way that the two of them played. Like at the end of the day, it could have gone either way in this last match. But BIGETRON by Vitality, with that composition, using the Pites and the Sunbin, jumping in there with the Ukiyo Tachiwana after, it is what took them and gave the victory.
Yes, very nice execution of that draft as well. Blacklist, I think this is the only way this match could have ended, right? It needed to be the last game because both of these are champions of their own respective regions. And now stepping into 2026, we get to explore the diversity of styles of draft, right? They just wanted to go for super sustain on the side of BIGETRON, and that plan worked for this series.
No, super sustain for me has been just the way to go in these 2 days, right? Not everyone is right now at their top of their level because we are already coming out of the preseason. So super sustain for me is the way to go because it's safe and you have a lot of different heroes in there that can actually work really well under these strategies.
Yes, super safe, and I think it's a safe way to make sure you have the best chance of winning, especially when it's the last game of the series. I obviously have a different kind of flavor. I like to go fast and I want to go aggressive. I want to invade the jungle. So yeah, that's probably why I lose all of my ranked games at this point. But hey, let's learn from the best of the best. And now BTR, what a way to end the series 3-2. IKL's day for sure today.
Very well done. Congratulations to IKL. 3 games, 3 victories from the IKL representatives. All of the Indonesian Kings League players and fans are for sure very, 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 very happy. Well, a lot of people were not understanding, or I know that they were a little bit confused about the Sunbin pick right over there, right? So what about if we just talk a little bit about what is the main idea of just having that Sunbin? Having that Sunbin allows you with the time flux to just be able to recover some of the damage that you have, some of the HP that you have lost in the last 2 seconds. And that is super important as we move on into the late parts of the game, isn't it, Ken?
Yes, it is. Especially now, bear in mind that if you max out the Sunbin second skill, at max level, it returns 50% of the damage that you take. That is a lot. And why this works wonders with Bao is because Baichi also has a lot of heals. He's called the ultimate weapon for a reason. And if things go awry, you have your ultimate, right? The time lapse to get the silence in. That is one of the ways to maximize the usage of the Sun Bin. Not easier said than done for sure.
No, and at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why you need to practice it a lot, right? I love to play Sun Bin myself. I just love the way how you can communicate with your teammates. I love how we can always just start seeing, like, based on what items you already have and based on the timings of the game, you understand how to coordinate your second ability with your teammates, especially with your tanks over there in Clash Lane.
Yes. Now, this is not professional advice. You can try, Sun Bin with the smite as well. It does work. Get the silence in, get the steal, get out. But, it works sometimes, not every time. So, jokes aside, let's go back to the game here. This game, I feel like Bao really performed very well. But my personal MVP of this game, it has to be F1. The Sun Bin pick really changed the game for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality.
Oh, completely. And that is one of the reasons why the roamers are the unsung heroes, right? Like, because they do all of the hard work, they do all of the hard carry, but they do not have the joy of getting the kills. They do not have the joy of dealing the damage. But if we analyze just exactly how the victories are built, a lot of these times are just because of these utility roamers around. So the caster's MVP for sure is gonna go to F1.
Yeah, fully agree. And to add on to that, this game was actually quite difficult for the mid laner Dragon on the side of BLACKLIST International, because in order to use your Destructive Deluge as Ladies Journal, I think it's safer to have a guaranteed it's going to land. But it's so hard to aim, especially with the time flux. Everyone's movement speed gets so much higher, and it also dilutes the damage that you're dealing on that ultimate.
Yes. We saw two Lady Suns today. Both of them had a very difficult time. Do you think that it has to do something with the way that they were played, or is just this hero in this patch is just kind of like just falling off?
No, I truly believe it's just a draft difference, right? Because you want to be able to be in a position where you capitalize on the frag grenades, extra damage, rolling rates as well. But we'll cover that in a bit. Let's cover the MVP. It is going to be Lanfeng. This guy came in at the clutch, the maximum clutch moment, which is at the end of the game where things were looking so dire. Yes. Lanfeng showed up and really put the pain in pedals. The
Laurel Princess Erin is going to allow Lanfeng to catch in one more MVP. It started in a pretty shaky performance at the beginning of the game, but then at the end it just came in and just delivered the damage that actually was needed from him.
Yeah, very curious. And if you take a look at the way the fights were happening at this point, the amount of setup available from the side of BIGETRON was also one of the main reasons why they won the fight so much. You have the saving grace from F1, you have the setup by Bao and Gen Myth, and this provides the perfect room of opportunity for Lanfeng to come in, because you have to throw skills at Bao. If you don't, you're gonna die.
And that's exactly what I mean, right? Like, imagine if you wouldn't have the help of Bao on the bites, if you wouldn't have the help of Sun Bin on the F1, Lanfeng wouldn't be able just to come in and just to get those kills and just to become the MVP. So in some sort of way, that MVP is shared among the three of them.
Yeah, for sure. I think the way they executed this last part of the game was so beautiful. They were staying within range of F1's time flux, maximize the damage. Look at that, 50% of the damage refunded back to them in their health pools, and what a beautiful performance. A great way to end all the monstrous series that we have had today.
Beautiful people, beautiful game. Look at the fans right over there going crazy over there in Jakarta. I am actually